welcome to another live episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and I have a very special guest. She's a soul singer, entrepreneur, and author, and a fellow podcaster. Welcome to the show, Siquoyia Blue.
Thank
Hello.
you. So glad to be here, y'all.
The pleasure's all mine. The pleasure is all mine. So, yeah, like I was telling you before, I had booked for somehow I booked two guests for today. The one at 5 o'clock didn't show, which is cool. I understand it's the holiday seasons. They probably forgot, but it's all good. But I'm glad you're here.
Yay, yes.
Yes. And this happened quickly because you booked this yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because I was like, let me go ahead and book it now because I had some stuff going on in November and December because I booked out my podcast. I was like, let me go ahead and do this now since this week was kind of my rest week and my Thanksgiving week. And I said, let me go ahead and get on here and talk. And I like your episodes too because I looked at some of your shows on YouTube and I like it. So I was like, let me talk to
Oh,
him.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the views. It's I started podcasting and it's like, oh man, I love this. This is what I want to do. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
been
cathartic. It's
I've,
cathartic.
I've been stuck on it. I've been like, can't stop. Got to keep going.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I've networked with some amazing people. I've been blessed with some amazing guests. So I can't complain. It's things are going well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. And I just started doing video podcasting. When I first started off, I was just doing audio
Strictly audio.
only.
I know, I
Yeah.
know, I know. I started right. So I started in 2020, right? And then I didn't really go to video till last year, last September. And the way I started was because I would use StreamYard to record the audio.
Mm,
I would just have the guests come on StreamYard and I would use my Rodecaster Pro to record the audio.
mm,
So I didn't use any video. And then I had a couple of I had a couple on. They were branding specialists and marketing specialists, and they're like, "So you don't do video?" And I'm like,
mm.
"No, I'm not wait. I'm not ready. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting to do it." And they're like, "So you don't do video?" And I'm like, "No, no, not yet, not yet. I'm soon, soon though, soon." And they go the third time. "So you don't do video?" I says, "Yes, I do." Record, and from there I started doing video. And then this year, a couple of months ago, I decided to transition to live. So it went
Mm,
from audio to pre-recorded video to live. And one of the reasons I do the live is to save on time. It makes me
mm.
so I don't have to edit the video because now
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's going to every platform that I'm using, so I don't have to edit it. But it
Yeah.
was it was also it was like let me interact with the audience because it's fun to interact with people. Like I've had a great time with everybody who's coming through and showing me love that they like to interact, and even the guests have a good time with it. So that's another
Yeah.
reason I transitioned to live.
Man, that's bomb. I mean, yeah, I mean, the video is definitely more interesting. At first, I was like, I just like to hide behind the audio, but then people was like, somebody, a brand rep similar to what happened to you, told me to show my face. So I just started showing my face like maybe, yeah, about 3 months ago. I just started. So my YouTube channel is so live. And I mean, so new. And I also did some live streaming too. So um, it's fun. And I like live streaming because you're right. I don't got to edit stuff and, you know,
It saves them time. It saves, and being an
yeah,
independent podcaster, you
yeah.
don't have time to be editing audio, video,
You
and all that
don't. And
other stuff.
I'm like a solopreneur, you know. I'm a, a tech
You,
engineer by day, and then I got, the music and then podcasting. It's like I don't have time to edit, and
it's a lot of work.
yeah. So it's cool. But I like your intro video. That's nice. I like that.
That's a production done by my man Cole Johnson. Shout out to my man Cole Johnson. Yeah, he did my intro video. He did actually did my trailer for my YouTube channel, and
Ooh.
that was cool. He's just a talented man, and
What?
he's a mentor. He's showing me the ropes with as far as comes to producing the show and all that. So I'm learning a lot. So big
Mm, I
shout out to
love
my
it.
man. Oh
I
yeah.
might have to talk to your guy. Help me with my intro video because I have no intro video. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. I can link. I definitely link you up. He rocks. Man. He definitely rocks. And it's he has this thing where he'll watch a few of your shows and stuff like that, and it's like he jumps into your head and he knows. Okay, I think this is the
Mm.
element I want to put into the show, or to the into the intro, or whatever it is he's recording for you. So yeah.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
So all right. So it's okay. So you're an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
and it's funny because I met my wife through a dating app, and
Mm.
yes, it was I was widowed at 31, and I spent some
Mm.
time after that getting myself right, getting myself together. And then a high school friend of mine, she was like, you know what? I think it's time for you to get back into the game. So she created me a profile on this dating site, and I met my wife through there. So
Wow.
yeah. So but I saw when I saw your profile, I was like, dating assassins? What is that? So tell us what is dating assassins?
So I decided to do a card game, y'all. So the reason why I decided this was because about 6 years ago, I got out of a bad relationship. And I said, you know what? I didn't really know him. I didn't really ask the right questions to see if we vibe, to see if we were the right match for each other. And I said, I think that'd be cool if I can make a card game to vet people. To be able to ask the right questions because sometimes people are nervous or they don't even know what to ask, and you can always blame it on the card game. So I came up with 150 questions to actually ask a potential partner or even your current partner that you're dating and ask them, hey, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Or are you a homebody? Or are you somebody like to be out on the town? Because a lot of times people break up because they weren't even on the same page, and it's important. You're not going to have everything like your partner. You're not going to be like, you know, uh, on point with everything, but there's some things that are important. Like if you're frugal and the other person's not, it's gonna be a
That's gonna be a
problem.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, they might want to go to Red Lobster or whatever, and then that person's like, "No, we gotta save money until we turn 65." I don't know.
Yeah, now
So,
I feel you. They might be like, "Hey, Red Lobster, no, let's McDonald's sounds more like our price right now." And not even
yeah,
now, because man, I go to McDonald's, and on 2 meals, you're spending like almost $30. I'm like,
yeah, and it ain't even good. Like I
no,
can't even eat
not,
that stuff no more.
not at
So,
all, not at all. It's like you're spending all this money, man. Nah, I'd rather
yeah,
stay home and just cook something.
yeah, just cook something or go someplace with, decent food. But it's like I said, let me go ahead and do this. So I started interviewing different women and men, like, what do you want to know? And then I put those in the questions. I asked all these important questions. And I really launched it like a few months ago, like 6 months ago. So, and
So
it's
did
been
you?
going pretty good.
So how did you do it? Did you split it? 75 questions men, 75 question women.
Nope, open-ended. So
It's open.
first,
Okay.
the man has to. Well, it depends on what the person wants to do. Like when I went on a date and used the cards, the guy was like, "Okay, so I'll answer the question first, and you answer the question after I answer." So that's what we did. But then some people might say, "You know what? I just want you to answer all the questions first, and then I'll come back after." So it depends on what the person want to do. And the whole point of the game, which makes it more fun, is if you see somebody like you ask a deep question, because like I said, this ain't no fluff questions. This is some deep questions about who you really are. I mean, there's some fun questions, but a lot of them is like deep. So if you see somebody like that can't answer a simple question, like, do you go to Dr. Daly? And he's like, or she's like, and you can't even answer a question. Well, why can't you answer a question? It's going to make you want to dive more into that and think about the person. Like, well, what's wrong with going to doctor, or does that align with you? Because some people may not care. If you don't go doctor yourself, then hey, you're not gonna care. But let's say you do go doctor, you want to be healthy, you don't want someone to not be healthy in a relationship, then you're gonna care. So it's important to, I think, ask those questions, and that's why I created this game. That's why I did that.
Okay, cool. And how are people receiving the game?
Well, it's crazy because I've gotten some good responses. Like some people said the person just was nervous to answer the question, but them answering it, or some people were like, they only can ask a few questions because they felt uncomfortable asking some questions, and then some people ask all the questions and the person answers. So it just depends. Now for me, when I tested it on guys, they answered all the questions, and it wasn't just because I'm the owner, of the game, but they definitely answered it, and a lot of times they were kind of tipsy, so it was a little bit easy for me. So it was a good experience with that. Like, so yeah, you'd be surprised how people answer questions. You know what I mean? Like you would think that somebody wouldn't answer it, but when they're in the moment, the energy changes. They'll end up answering the questions.
Yeah, no, I could imagine going sitting down with somebody and asking some good questions, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. That's good. I'm
Yeah.
it's different. I thought it was just different. Like, dating assassin playing cards. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I'm like,
Yeah, like assassinate their truth. Facts are the enemy to the truth, right? So
okay,
I can sit here and tell you my truth, but is it a fact? Maybe not. And that's how we get under the rug. Because you can tell, when somebody's sweating and getting nervous and stuff. It's written all over their face. And even if you're not an intuitive person, the whole point is for you to turn into one with the game, because it's supposed to bring it out.
so are these? Is it an app or is it just real playing
It's
cards?
cards, real playing
Playing
cards. I
cards.
went
Okay.
back old school. And it's crazy because I'm being a software developer. You would think I'm gonna create an app, but nope, it's a card game. Because the app is going I would need some more senior developers to help me with the app I'm trying to do. Like it's another level. So I said, let me do nostalgic route. Let me have a card game in the hand. And once it blows up, because there's gonna be more to these games. It's not gonna be just dating and stats. It's gonna be different type of things. Vetting your friends, vetting business partners. It's gonna turn into a big thing. But this is the start of the beginning. So
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
yeah. So I think this is gonna help people in the dating game, because like you said, you met your lady on the app, and a lot of times it's dating apps are kind of tough, but it's still crucial because to me it's like you can't just go to Home Depot, bump into a guy, and be like, yeah, so what about that date? I mean, it's awkward, so you don't know. I mean, so I just think it's good to just I think it's still important to do dating apps and stuff, and be open to meeting someone out as well. Just I think it's important to have both.
Oh, me and the wife are going on 10 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so it's it's just it just goes to show you that is it? I don't know. I hope she doesn't listen to this anyway, so she
Time goes by
don't.
fast, man. Sometimes you forget because time is just flying. But yeah, I think this will help out a lot of relationships in the future, like to avoid because a lot during the pandemic, I don't know if you heard, but during people were locked up in the house together. They didn't know a lot about their partners because they were out working, hustling and stuff.
Oh, a lot of people got divorced because of the pandemic.
Man, because they didn't know who the partner was.
They're
They
like,
didn't
"Who
know,
are you?
like
You
they didn't
actually
know.
you really put ketchup on eggs? Oh, that's gross." Yeah, stuff like that. It's just
Yeah, the man, it was a rude awakening, and that's why I said this game is needed so we can kind of avoid that the best way we can.
oh, no, believe me, a lot of parents found out the truth, man. Especially when
Mhm.
it's like when they had to homeschool their kids, they started realizing a lot of parents, and my nephew laughs when I said a lot of parents found out it was really their kids and not the teacher's fault.
Yep, yep,
'Cause a
yep.
lot of parents be like, "Oh no, the teachers sucked," and then
Mhm.
when they had to homeschool their own child, they realized like, "No, it's my child. It was my child."
Yep, I was hearing so many stories about that too. I was like, "Oh Lord."
A lot of
Uh,
parents are like, "No, I'm sorry. Their city teacher is like, I am so sorry. I apologize if I." Yeah, I'm sure a lot of parents realize like, no, it's my child. I have the son. I have the seed of Satan or something like. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I don't got no kids yet, but if I had kids, I would be like, "Listen, I'm gonna have to bring someone in here to help me because I wouldn't know what to do with him or her." I'd be like, "All right, I'll just keep an eye, but I just got to get somebody else to do it. I got, I can't do it."
So you're a singer as well.
Yeah.
Um, how long have you been singing?
Oh man, I started off singing. That's all I used to do. I started singing at 12 years old. And I just thought that was all I was going to do. I said, I'm going to be a singer. That's all to it. And, I didn't understand the business side of it, of course, because I didn't know anybody in my family that was in music. My folks were in the medical industry. So I had to really just, learn through trial and error. And I decided independent was great for me. I met with some high up people in the entertainment industry. I learned a lot, and I realized, I mean, not saying that getting a deal is bad, but you want to make sure you already have stuff going on before you get the deal, so you can leverage better. Because if you get into a bad deal, you're just gonna be famous broke, and you don't want to do
And you
that.
always hear about bad deals. You always hear about I should have signed this deal, or they signed me to this 360 deal, or whatever deal it was,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And now you realizing that being independent, especially now with
Yeah.
social media and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all these other different things, um, it's sometimes it's just better if the artist goes independent.
Man, because a lot of times you're dealing with people that also want you to be another singer and you're not that singer. And then that's why it never works. You try to do a copy of Rihanna. Well, Rihanna's Rihanna. We can't be Rihanna. So, and that's the thing, some of the things I went through in my 20s. And I said, you know what? I don't want to. I said, I'm just going to go. I'm not saying I'm not going to be open. I'll listen to someone. But at this point, I just want to definitely promote, teach artists how to be independent. And you do need to learn the business side because that comes first. The music, you can sing about ketchup and make money only because you got your marketing down. You got investment behind yourself. You can sing about anything, you know. And I think that's important that artists learn about marketing. Take Google training. See, we're in a situation now where you can get on google.com and learn training for free, how to market, how to do SEO, how to
Yep.
do all those things. And Facebook ads, you can, man, you can send traffic right to your music, right to Spotify. And it's enough for you, but it may not be enough for like a Beyonce. They're saying, "Oh, we're not making enough money from Spotify and all that." Well, that's different for them. But for an independent artist, it'll be good money for them because we're independent. We get it back everything that we put out. So I think that that's what I'm pushing now is to teach artists that. And because I had to teach myself that. But back when I'm a millennial, so back when I had got into it when I was like 19, 20, it was this MySpace era. And right when I got into MySpace, it went away. It went away, and I was like, "Dang!" I was blowing up on MySpace, and then had to pivot. And Facebook was different. It wasn't the same with music, and it just wasn't the same for me. So, but I kept going. I put out my first album at 23, and then I went sung on the boat. I was singing on the boat, and I realized I didn't like being on the boat. I was like, I can only be on the boat for 2 weeks, and I gotta go. And it was like, "But it's ongoing and you know, it's an entertainment job and you can keep working." I said, "Yeah, but the boat ain't for me." So, had to get off the boat. And it was a good experience. I learned a lot about other cultures that I didn't know. I learned that, you know, it was a lot of Russians on there and I was told that, "Oh, I didn't," they told me that they like black people now after meeting me, and I never heard nothing like that in my life. At 24, when you hear that, you're like, "Huh?" They're like, "Oh, we thought, you know, black people were ghetto and stuff, but when we met you, you were very smart." And you know, and I thought that was you know, eye opening for me because I was in Atlanta. You know, I was coming from Atlanta at the time, and all I saw was what majority all I hung out with was majority black people. And so when I went on the boat and it was all Russians and Germans, and they told me that, you know, "Oh, well, I didn't know, you know, you were
Well, they
so smart." It was so different.
because of what they see on TV and
Yeah.
on shows and stuff like that. It's just the way that it's portrayed.
Yeah.
When
And
people really get to know you, they're like, "Oh, you're not that way." So yeah,
yeah. And I was like, well, that's one thing I left behind that I could show them that we're all different. We're all, you know, versatile. You're not gonna say the name of the cruise line, but it was a big name and it was good money. And I was like, I thought that I could show people I made it. But what is making it really, right? What's making it? So
what is success? Yes, what is?
yeah, success is what makes you happy at night when you go to bed.
And that's what,
Like,
and that's not what a lot of people feel like. They feel like, oh, they need to have the accolades, they need to have the money, they need to have the
yeah,
cars, they need to have the
yeah,
materialistic thing, and
yeah.
that's not the case. Because even though when you have those things, some people aren't happy with that.
Man, I mean, you see so many stories now because I'm a naturally curious person. So I read a lot of stories. I've seen millionaires say they were sad, or I've seen them say they become recluse because they can't talk to nobody. They try to take all their money. I mean, so many different stories. And I said, man, you just gotta, and because the way my situation was that I was just trying to prove people wrong. That's why I was trying to say, let me get on the boat and prove you wrong. But I didn't really want to get on the boat. But the thing is that when people have to understand that success, right, entertainment or trying to be an entrepreneur or whatever, is really up to you, you know, what that success is. Because you can be making a million but nobody know because you're not famous, right? So it's like, you know, it's different things now, especially how internet has changed. You can be making all this money but you're not on TV, and now most people ain't even watching TV no more because everything's on YouTube anyway. So I think that it's important for artists to really enjoy the art and put money behind it. And sometimes you do have to start another business to get there, or either get into a high paying industry to get there, you know, because, you know, it's not going to be um cakes and roses, sitting here just trying to be somebody you're not, and it's not going to be as fun. So that's how I look at it. You want to enjoy the journey and you want to have fun with what you're doing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And Ben, what's going on? He's so I go live the BS3 network, which is you can download it on the Roku app. And
Oh,
Ben is the owner, and he says you set the standard for your success.
yes, I agree. Like, you set the standard for your success. Like, you don't, just because somebody might say, "Oh, well, I don't see you on TV," but it don't mean you're not doing what you need to do. Don't mean it's not fruitful, because if one person here, you putting your music out on Spotify, Apple, that's a big deal. Most people don't even get to do that. So I think that that's important, to keep putting out your art, even if you're not. Some people aren't good at being on TikTok every day and dancing. Some people are like, "Hey, I just want to put it on Apple, Spotify, run my ads." Most artists don't know about running ads, so that's why I'm telling people now. Get on Google. It's free. I think it's called American. I forgot what it's called, but it's the program. But you can still get on Google and get the marketing training for free and Facebook ad training for free. And man, my life has changed from taking these courses, and your life will too.
Oh, believe me, I know I've taken so many different courses. When I first started, I didn't know I didn't know anything about podcasting. I just knew I wanted to start a podcast. I didn't know about SEOs. I didn't know about filling descriptions into my podcast. I didn't know about putting hashtags. I I barely titled episodes, didn't put a thumbnail, didn't do anything. And so once I started doing that, I started realizing started seeing my downloads go up and stuff like that,
Mhm,
because people would like wanted to read what's the episode about? How you put an episode and I don't know
mhm,
what's it about. So once I started figuring that out, things started progressing, numbers started going up. And it's crazy because at first people wouldn't want to be on the show because I didn't they were like some of the questions were like, oh, how many downloads do you have? Or how many episodes you have? I'm like, I'm just starting
mm.
out. I'm just fresh. Like,
Yeah.
no, talk to me later when your numbers are bigger. And so
Yeah.
slowly, I'm learning the things, adapting, putting everything that I need to do, doing the intro, doing all the things that I'm doing now. And it was just you start seeing now people start reaching out to me instead of people ghosting me and
Yep.
like, no, I don't want to. You get people now messaging you like, hey, I just saw a few episodes. I think I'm a
Mhm,
perfect fit for your audience. I got something I want to share with your audience.
mhm,
I would love to be a guest.
mhm.
And I'm like, okay, things are picking up now because I remember when people were like, nah,
Yep, yep,
no,
that's
thank
how the
you.
game is. In the beginning, and I tell people all the time, just keep going, because now I'm getting people asking to be on my show, and from not even on the pod match. I'm like, what is going on? I didn't think that, that would happen that quick. But you just, as long as you stay tunnel vision and don't listen to the wrong people, you'd be surprised how things just start happening for you, you know?
Pod matches. I tell anybody if your show is a guest based show, pod match is definitely something that you need to get
Mhm,
into. You need to
mhm,
find yourself on there because they've developed a system to help content creators, especially if you use the paid feature on it. If you use the host as a host and use that feature, they actually pay you a commission
yes.
for interviewing certain guests. So it's a
Mhm,
way of you. They found a way to help you get monetized
mhm,
earlier than expected. Like if you interview certain guests, like you're not charging a fee to interview these guests, but Podmatch is actually paying you a commission to interview certain guests.
mhm,
And to me, that was amazing because when I started once the program came out, I signed up and I was like
mhm.
$6 a month. It's worth it to me
Yeah,
to,
it was. It
to
is.
to be able to link up with some amazing guests,
Mhm.
and they use the AI to help you match and see the fit that you
Yep.
have for your podcast. And honestly, the first 3 months, I made $118.
Wow. See?
First
It's
three
it
months,
That's
yeah.
amazing. And that could pay for the software and
It
everything.
it, it paid for it because
Yeah.
I had paid for 3 months. I had it was my third month of paying for it. $18.
See?
That's what I had spent in those 3 months was $6, $6, $6, $18.
Wow.
And then after and then once you get to a certain amount of when you hit a certain number, they send it to you to your to your PayPal account. And
Yep.
so when they released it, it was $118. I'm like, look at that's $100 more
Mhm.
than what I paid. It's like I paid 18 bucks, but I got $118. And to
Yep.
me, that was something that was worth it. To me, it was like, man, they really do care about podcasters and especially independent podcasters
Mhm.
who are struggling to get monetized.
Yeah, because it takes time for sponsors to be like, "Okay, boom, I'm about to give you this," because they wanna know about your downloads and stuff,
Hmm.
but Podmatch, it helps y'all, so I would
Yeah,
say check that out.
definitely. Anybody who wants to know, just let me know. I'll send you the link. And yeah, I've been blessed that I've had people sign up on the few of my links. And they love it.
Yeah.
They started sharing their affiliate links, and that's another thing. You don't have to wait to become an affiliate.
Yep, yep.
Whereas certain platforms, you have to get, oh, I need you to get a certain amount of downloads, or I need you to have a certain amount of followers or something. No, you
Mhm.
once you sign up and pay your $6, you create your affiliate link, and you can share that.
Yep. It's the bomb. It's the bomb, y'all.
It is.
The
It's
more
an
guests
also
on there, the better.
and honestly, I've been having nothing but some great guests from there.
Man, me too. So, I mean, my podcast is nicheless, so everything I talk about everything from ghosts to dating to, I mean, just business, how to start a business, everything. It's it's very fun.
It is. So so what made you start your podcast? Because I know, yes, you did music and all this, but what made you start the Blue Alchemist podcast?
It's crazy because I tried to say, let me just focus on tech and music, right? Because some people be like, oh, three things or two things can't be true at the same time. Yes, it can. You can do it. It depends on the person. So I said, you know what? I don't know what it was, but something told me get back in podcasts and start, you know, asking people questions and learning, and then also teaching the audience different things. So I said, let me get back into it. So I got back into it. Like I said, I was audio only first because I was like, I didn't want to show myself. I was like, I don't want to do that. But then I said, let me go ahead and start showing my face. And I started getting more views and stuff, getting more attention. And then I also started, people start telling their stories. And my podcast kind of stories based, where people just start from different stories and stuff. And it became cathartic, like relaxing and just hearing their stories and stuff and learning about different people behind the veil. Because when you go to a bar, you go out and stuff, or even with family, you don't really get behind the veil with what's going on. And to me, it was like I was sitting into a movie, learning about different people, and then the audience is learning so much from these people, different experts on different topics. I said, man, this is it. I had to get over my fear because I had me look, I had stage fear for music. Then I realized I had podcast fear. I was like, this podcast fear got to go. What people say, just let it go and just do your thing because somebody's gonna resonate and they're gonna enjoy what you're doing. So that's how it started.
Oh, like with me, I had purchased my equipment in 2019, right? Because I was going to do a sports podcast with my friend, and him and his girl got pregnant, so that kind of put end to our podcast even before we started.
Oh,
And so I had the equipment lying around for over a year. I get furloughed in 2020 from my job because of the pandemic, and I'm
mm,
just sitting here one day with my nephew talking through StreamYard, and actually no, we was talking on the phone. We were on the phone talking, and I was like, you know what? I had my Audacity screen opened, and I decided to press record. And I didn't have the right plug to plug the phone into my mixer, so I'm holding the phone up to the mic, and and me and my nephew are doing a 5 minute introduction episode, and that's how I started. And he was like, "No, we can't release that until we're ready. We can't release it till we're ready." I said, "No, we need to release this little 5 minute clip now because we need to get started. I don't care about
mm,
not sounding good or whatever it was, because I knew the only way for me to improve was to start it and continue to do it." It was like
yep.
because he was like, "No, we gotta wait till we're perfect." I'm like, "Nah, I want people to see the growth. I want people to see where we started at, how we started at, where look you could tell the difference from if you listen to my audio podcast at the beginning, how we started to now, there's a big difference as far as
Mhm.
confidence level, as far as
Yep.
me knowing what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Because it was me starting out. I didn't know I, one of my first episodes, like episode 6, 17, 18. Me and this gentleman from India recorded 3 hours.
Whoa.
3 hours. Like who does that? And so I released it as a two-parter, an hour and a half each one. But once you start learning, you're realizing like, this, let me trim this here and let me make sure I cut it down to 35, 45 minutes to an hour long. I don't, but then you do get these conversations that they
There
just
we go.
flow, that they just
Yeah.
flow. And then you're realizing, like, damn, I've been on here talking 2 hours already, an hour and a half.
Yep.
It's those kind of conversations that you're like, oh, I guess this is gonna be a two-parter.
Yeah, that happens. Cause at first I was trying to be like, let me do 30, 35 minutes 'cause I thought people may not wanna hear a podcast that long, but then there's situations where you just get caught in the flow in the moment. You look down, been an hour and 30 minutes, you be like, "Oh, I done did a recorded a
Yeah,
whole movie in here." But it's fun though. I think it's fun.
it is. So, all right. So this is what we've been having some interaction.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, my man Brian Snow. Hey, hey, listen live. All right, he just went back to my man Brian Snow was battled cancer earlier this year,
oh,
and but he's doing well now. He's in remission, and
amen.
he kicked back cancer's butt, and now he's going back to doing live games. So I'm so proud of him.
Oh,
Congratulations. He's worked hard to get back there. He's worked hard to get back to doing live play by play because that's his love, is being able to do
mm,
play by play sports. So
yeah.
I'm so excited for him.
Man, congrats, man.
And
Keep
then
doing your thing.
what's up, Ben? He's the owner of the BS3 network, which we're airing on right now.
Hey, Ben.
And that he's the one who's put you set your own standard. And then um Brian said he's gonna do a few courses.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really helpful, man.
And then me, I just shared a Podmatch link. So for anyone who wants to sign up for Podmatch, any podcasters out there who are interested in finding guests for your podcast, definitely join Podmatch. It's worth it.
Mhm.
You actually the AI actually really connects you with some great guests. That's how I found you. You
Yes.
you were one of my matches, and I was like, and I read your profile, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have her on the show.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I just started the guest profile, because at first I was just hosting. I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be a guest, whatever," because I still had that podcast fright. But then God was like, "No, you need to start talking. You got to start talking about what you're doing." And then I said, "Okay." That's when I jumped on. I created that guest profile.
I need to, yeah, I need to stop bullshitting and create a guest profile myself and
Yeah.
and go on different shows. Definitely need to go and represent on other different. That's the only way you grow your audience. That's one thing
Yeah.
I tell other podcasters is if you get an opportunity to be on someone else's show, take it,
Yep.
because that's a different audience that you were not reaching before. So to be
Yep.
able to go on someone else's show and show them what you got, and you might make a few fans that like, hey, I like his content. Let me go check out his content.
Yeah, and it's just PR because, like I said, everything's about marketing. And if you want to save money and you don't want to run ads, then this is how you do it.
Yeah,
Tips.
going on different shows definitely helps you out.
Yeah, because Google Ads, man, they can get pricey, but Google Ads is probably best for podcasting though, for to promote your podcast over Facebook ads. I can say that. I think Google Ads is better. But Facebook ads is good to grow your fan base though on
Yeah, on
yeah,
on Facebook. Yeah,
yeah, your Facebook fan page.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've run a few ads here and there.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that's how I gained some fans on Facebook, and now I'm about to start the Google thing. I'm still studying Google. I'm still taking the course and learning, but it's coming together.
Oh no, since since I've started my podcasting journey, I've taken so many different courses.
Mm.
Um, I've watched so many different videos on YouTube on how to use
Mhm.
this equipment, or how to use
Ooh,
this editing software or that editing software. There's so many
so
different things
much.
you learn. Yeah, no, I've learned so much in the last 2.5 years that I've added so much value to myself. I've raised
Mm,
my worth,
mhm.
and
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 that's
that's
how it should be.
and that's what people don't realize is like you you build you have to go out there and learn and grow and build and build your worth and show people like, hey, this is what you're paying for. You're paying
Yes.
for these talents and these skills that I've obtained doing this for as long as I've been doing it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, that's true, and that's what the guests get when they come on. They get this skill, this expertise, and they get this platform, and this the layout you have, everything. Because I did my own little layout, just trying to. Because I was watching this guy on YouTube the other day. He was like, when you're podcasting, exaggerate. He said exaggerate everything. And I thought that was interesting because my mom always tell me exaggerate, and it's true. And these those little things make you stand out, you know. So
But you know what? Sometimes you don't really necessarily, yes, it's cool to, but sometimes
yeah,
like people like I find that people enjoy my podcast because I'm just me.
yes,
I don't try to portray myself as something that I'm not.
yeah,
And I just come on here and I just have great conversations with people and I try to make my guests feel comfortable. I make them feel like this is their show as well because it is. It's their show,
yeah.
and now with me doing the live, it's also an audience show as well.
It's like a coffee shop talk. I tell people coffee shop talk because
Yeah,
when I used to live in LA, I used to walk to the coffee shop down the street just to have, conversation. I'll sit at the bar and have my coffee or some coffee and Baileys or whatever I had. And I would just people start talking to me and tell me their whole stories and stuff. And I may never see them again, but I was like, dang, this is cool. And now I feel like I'm doing it in a different way now because I'm in Vegas now. So I'm in Vegas. So now I'm like, all right, I can't just walk to the bar like I was before because I was right on the strip in LA, so I could just walk anywhere. But I had to leave LA because it was pretty traffic was driving me crazy.
it's funny that you mentioned Vegas because um, here I live in Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania is the behind Vegas. Pennsylvania is the state with the second most casinos, and
Oh,
I am a table games dealer by trade.
okay.
Yes, that's what I've been doing for the last 7 years is dealing blackjack, craps, roulette, um, baccarat, and a couple of other games. I don't
Oh
deal
man.
poker. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to do a show just showing us how to do blackjack because I mean, I need that because I go to the casino, I play the slots only, but I would like to learn blackjack and stuff. And I don't know about poker,
so,
but
yeah. I don't deal. I don't deal poker. I don't really like playing poker. But so you want me to? You think I should do a tutorial on how to play blackjack?
yes, I think so, cause I think people will watch it because, I don't know what to do, and I be seeing people win all this money screaming and stuff at the casino, and I be like, "What are they doing? Why can't I need to learn this." Like, but I don't wanna go there and mess up the game all confused, so that's why I'll never
And
do
you
it.
and it's funny because you do get people that come and mess up the game and like I've had people split 20 and everybody on the table goes crazy because
Mhm.
basically the only thing that could beat the 20 is 21. So when they do it, when they split a 20, I'll be like, are you sure? Yeah, okay. And I just go ahead and deal. And everybody at the table is ready to kill them, especially if they end up losing the hand. Because they're like,
Mm.
dude, why would you mess up a winning hand?
Dang, see? That's why I don't do it. That's why I was like, "Let me just learn first so I can go in and not mess it up." But it's a lot of money into it, but you can win more money faster than the slots, it seems. So
I don't know, because my wife all she does is play slots and she's hit quite a few jackpots.
yeah, I had a few since I've been out here. Not like what I want yet, but pretty good. About 800, $1,000 every now and then. That's nothing to
Hey,
sneeze
that's
at.
good. Hey, that's good. What are you
I
talking
was
about?
like, this might be my side job, y'all know. But I do try to go like every week and put like a few dollars in because I want to keep a good, relationship with the casino because sometimes they give you free food and free
You get free
rooms.
comp. Well, I'm actually
Yeah.
going to Atlantic City this coming weekend. We're
Oh, fun.
yes. So we it's by the sea. It's different. It's in New Jersey, so we get to leave the house and just chill. It's a nice weekend with the wife and some family members that are coming down with us. So
Dang,
It's
that's what I'm talking about. That's fun.
yeah, we're
And
we're excited.
yeah, most of my family on the East Coast right now, so it's like this time we're just, my mom's going to the casino. We made reservations tomorrow to have dinner at the casino. I was like, because we would go to Connecticut. I mean, well, I do have a great aunt in California, so we would have probably drove to her, but we just decided this week we're just gonna just go to casino and eat. But Christmas, yeah, we're going right to Cali. We're going to Inglewood with all the with that side of the family. But most of my family's in Virginia and Richmond. So
Okay, all right. Yeah, I have a niece that lives in Virginia. We actually went down in October for her wedding. It was in Newport News, I think. Yeah,
oh, yep, bad. They call it bad news.
it
I wonder
was
if they
actually.
still call it bad
I don't
news.
know. It was actually nice out there. It was pretty nice. It was it was by the water, by so I
Yeah,
I enjoyed
Virginia's
it.
bumping. They got the best seafood, y'all. So if y'all want some seafood, some crab legs, you got it. That's Virginia.
I, what did we had just had food that they made at the wedding, but while we was there, we stopped at this Mexican restaurant that was amazing.
Mm. I've never been to a Mexican because I grew up in Virginia, but I've never been to a Mexican restaurant out there. That's interesting. When I go back and visit, I'm gonna try it. Shoot, me being a foodie and all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm toast. Tomorrow's one of my favorite days, man.
Yes. Woo.
I get to enjoy some great food tomorrow.
Yes. I mean, I don't get the home cooked food tomorrow like I usually do because my stepdad he used to throw down, but he passed away during from COVID in 2020. So, but he used to throw down, man. I definitely miss. I really do miss those times. So now it's like everything's changed since he passed away. You gotta find different places to go to. So
Yeah,
you know, COVID
w-
just came
I've
in like a storm.
yeah, I lost a few friends and stuff like that.
Man. Yeah, it just changes everything because I was like, you just miss that home cooked meal, but from that particular person.
Yeah, it's one of my like when I first started podcasting. My friend Angel, he would always show me love and support and be like, yeah, listen. He was one of the people I would because he was into podcasts, listening to podcasts and all that. So when I started, I would let him send it to him, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good episode. You need to work on this, this, and this."
Mm.
And so when he passed away from COVID, it was like, "Oh man, one of my biggest supporters." Like
Mm. Dang.
he
Mhm.
was really very supportive of what I did, man. And you need people like that.
It's hard to find people like that.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to find people that support your dream or don't try to stop you from living your dream because they're afraid of going after their dreams.
There we go. And I dealt with that a lot, and I cut them off. I had to st-
Well,
I
you
had to
know,
start cutting them off.
it's not is I don't I, it's like I have not cut people off, but
Yeah,
you tend to they tend to leave your life when you start
that too.
when you start switching your energy and you start
Yeah,
attracting the people you want into your life.
true.
Because I've been blessed to attract some magnificent people that have been nothing but supportive and been I've been blessed for people who've been like offering me some great opportunities and
Yep.
offering me some things that I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like my boy Brian Snow, he's like, yo, I would like for you to come on and be a co-host on my show. I was like, I can do it a couple of days a week because of my day job, but on my days off, I'm a co-host on the show. I'm
Mm,
there every Thursday and Friday, have a great time. And
it's nice.
it helped me it helped prepare me to start doing lives because
Makes
that's
sense.
he's because he does his show live and he interacts with the audience, so that prepared me for this. And then Ben, who part of the BS3 network, who I met this year, even though it didn't go where we wanted it, but he linked me up with someone and he didn't have to do that. It was an opportunity for me to get put out there, but things didn't fall through. But the fact that he
Mm.
vouched for me, that he was like, "Yo, here, I
Yeah.
need y'all. This guy will be someone you can interview, be a great interview for you guys." And to have that is amazing, to see people
Yeah.
really be able to see what to believe in your talent and be like, "Here, you need to show this dude some love." See, so
Yeah.
I've been blessed with this year with some amazing people.
Yeah. You know what? Same thing for me. I mean, I've met some cool people just podcasting and we stayed in contact. I'm even about to work with a producer this week that interviewed me on his podcast and he makes beats. He has a whole deck, a whole cool system decked out. And I'm about to work with him and, he'll write me every now and then, we'll share songs. So I'm grateful for that, and so the podcast has helped me meet people that I wouldn't normally meet out
You
there.
wouldn't need, yeah.
Yeah.
You meet. I've met people that I probably wouldn't have met had it not been for podcasting.
Yeah. So it's definitely a blessing.
It definitely is. I am thankful for everything that's happening, and, and it's just, and even Tony. Tony just started listening to the podcast, and what's going on, Tony? He says, "Hey, you're
Hey,
everywhere."
Tony.
Right? Thank you. Um, and since he's been listening to the podcast, he comes through, show love, and we actually linked up, had some great conversations, and I consider him a friend now
Wow.
because when you sit down and you have a conversation with someone, that
Yeah.
this is someone you would like to keep in your life. This is someone you would
Hmm.
like to have in your life, because you don't always find those great conversations.
You don't. You don't. You don't. A good conversation is so cathartic. Like just talking, even if you're face to face with a cup of coffee and just having a good conversation, it's like it's priceless.
Oh no, I'm talking about we've had some conversations that last a couple of hours. So
They
so when you have those type of conversations, that like, all right, this is somebody cool. This is someone you can really sit down and have those conversations.
Yeah, that's a blessing. I haven't had that in a long time, you know. And that
And
when it comes back, I'm be happy again. It'll come back around.
welcome, Misty. Thank you for coming by, Tony. This is Tony's friend, Misty Winter. Hey,
Hey, Misty.
she got my like, and I appreciate it. Thank you. But as I'm saying, you start meeting people and they start sharing your content,
Yes.
and they're like, he's like, "Yo, bro, you do some great content, you do some great work," and I appreciate that. That kind of helps me like validate what I'm doing, to be able to hear people tell me, "Hey, you're doing some great work. Continue to do what you're doing."
Yes, and you are. Like I'm just grateful that you have this platform. You are changing the world, And that's the thing that people have to think about is that when you're doing these things, when you're putting out content to the world and sharing your life, you are changing the world. Like, so I think that's important for podcasters to know when they're starting this. And when I get reviews on my Apple podcast, I get so like, who is this? I don't know who you are, but thank you
I
so
appreciate you.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, it warms my heart because it makes me feel like, okay, I got to keep doing this. This is for a reason, and I got to put this in my schedule and make a time for this, and it's important. So, yeah,
Oh, believe me, when like last year I was wilding. I was recording almost every day, maybe
they.
two or three episodes a day. But this is when I was just strictly doing audio.
Oh,
And
okay.
so when I switched to doing pre-recorded, it was like, okay, I still have a bunch of audio that I haven't released. Like I have a treasure trove of unreleased audio podcasts, because now that I have the video, I'm I
Mm.
use the audio from that to actually release onto my audio
Yep,
podcast. So
I do
now,
too.
so
I
so
was wondering, does anybody else do that? Because I
so
was
no,
like,
so no, I'm like, now I got all these audios that I need to go through and really pick out the episodes that I really want to share, because I know I got some great audio content out there that needs to be shared out there. But
oh,
it's been great, man. It's been great to really to see the evolution of where I've come from. Like I said, now I went from audio to pre-recorded to live,
Man.
and this has inspired me to actually go into coaching. This has
Yes.
inspired me to really start going into coaching and doing stuff like that,
Yes.
which I would have never. That's not a lie, because I've always felt like I was meant to be a teacher in some form or another.
Mhm. Yeah, and people need some guidance and stuff from someone, and that's why there's so many podcast ebooks coming out now. There's different things, but it's good to offer like because the podcast ebooks could be kind of confusing, but it's good to offer that one-on-one.
It's funny because I wanted to do a book on podcasting, right? And when I went to Podfest this past year, there was a lot of book publishers and all that, and I actually got to speak to a couple of them. And spoke to one gentleman who I actually had on my show. Big shout out to Big Aaron. Um, he heard my story. He says, "You know what? Yeah, forget about writing the podcasting book. You need to share your story. You need to
Mhm.
share what happened to you in your life, and because it's much more inspiring than writing a book on podcasting that everybody's doing already."
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Nah, share your story and write your story." So that's another
I'm looking
goal.
forward to reading that.
Uh,
That's gonna be interesting. I would
uh,
definitely buy it, you
I'm
know?
I'm 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 excited about working on it, but it's just you grow so much. It's like
Man.
you grow so much from where you start from, especially like I said, like me and you, we started audio, and just a few months you did the video, you switched to the
Yup.
video format. And what's the big difference? What's the big difference for you in those two things?
Well, audio, I felt like I can just look like whatever. Like I can just chill out, and be like, I can have a hat on my
Yeah,
head and be like in some
yeah,
pajamas, be like do do do. But then when I have to do video, I'm like, okay, I gotta come presentable. I gotta
yeah.
make sure my
The hair
background
gotta be combed. I gotta make
hair
sure
gotta. I
the
got the
beard is
locks, so
nice. Yeah.
yeah, and I gotta make the locks sure the locks are done right. And then I said, Oprah might see me. I don't know. I don't. You never know who's gonna see
You
you
never
on here.
know. You never know
So,
who's gonna catch that show. You never
so
know.
I was like, "Let me get ready," and I said, "Let me get my background." I said, I said, "Do I need a cool decked out studio?" I said, "No, that's too much money. That's stupid." So then I said, then I started saying, "You know what? I'm gonna do cool backgrounds," and that's when I started doing these backgrounds. And
Oh, I
this
like your
is,
background. It's cool.
yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna use this one," but I didn't even have a green screen because it was like, "Oh, the green screen works the best." I said, "Oh, dang, I didn't get no green screen," but I'm gonna get one so it can blend in better because I have different backgrounds, but this one kind of comes out the best. But
Oh
that,
yeah,
the,
because when you don't have a green screen, right,
yeah,
your hand kind of fades into
yeah, like,
the thing. Yeah, I know, I know. I don't have my green screen up, but I usually used to have a green screen on, but it was like so much work to really.
whew, that's the
Keep.
thing. That's why I said, well, it's just gonna be he's gonna see my
Well,
head.
it's because I'm in a small space right now, and it's
Me
like
too.
if I had more room, then I would have it up set up, and I
Yeah.
could use it more frequently. But it's cool. It's all right. The camera works well. My mic is amazing. So
Yeah. And that's the only difference I mean that I've seen. And also people get to see who's talking and see my movements and my mannerisms
that is
versus
true.
being on the audio, they can't see my mannerisms and stuff. So, you know,
What's
that's so I
going on?
like it.
Sorry. What's going on, Victor? Thank you for stopping by and showing some love, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been an amazing ride, actually. And I
Yeah.
really do want to get back to the green screen. Like I do, I like making some funky designs for my background, and
Yeah.
you never know what I could come up with. Because that's one thing oh man, Canva is my best friend.
Canva's my friend, and it's funny because I had a guest that this she despises Canva and all this stuff. She believes in Adobe and all that, and I get it. I like Adobe, but I think Canva is best for if you're trying to do something quick and
Okay, let me put it like this: Canva is for people who don't know much, like, and
yeah,
you can really do some amazing work. Like
man.
all my background right now that you see right now that's stuck in my
Mhm.
mind, and all that that's done on Canva. All that
Dang,
was done on Canva.
that's nice.
Yeah, I
See,
like
and that's
it.
the thing. Like I think Canva's fine, and I said, and I did say, hey, if somebody can afford some to pay a
If you can
graphic
pay,
design team,
yeah,
cool. If
but
you want something particular.
I can't afford a graphic design team.
Yeah, I was like, "Ain't nobody got time for that," so I just go ahead. I figured out myself. I don't want to learn Adobe personally because I just got too much I'm learning about. I can't learn everything. I can't do everything. So,
Listen, I've learned in the last 2 years. I've learned Audacity. I've learned Wondershare Filmora. I've learned DaVinci Resolve,
mm.
um, Reaper. There's so many
Oh
different
yeah,
programs.
Reaper. Somebody was telling me about that. He was saying how it was better than Audacity. Because me and Audacity has not, I have not figured it out. I know GarageBand, but when it comes to Audacity, I don't know what the heck to do. And it's probably because I just probably just not trying hard enough. But GarageBand was kind of came to me quick for some reason.
Well, you know what? Audacity is again. I watch videos. I don't know how many videos I watched on using Audacity.
See, yep.
I've watched so many videos, and it's with anything I want to learn. It's like I'm
Mm.
sort of a visual learner. So when I watch
Yeah.
things, I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do, and I start messing with it, and I start doing it, and that's how I've been able to develop the skills that I have. Like I
Hmm.
use Audacity. Haven't been using Audacity lately because I don't need to edit my audio because
Yeah.
I've cut the middleman out by doing the lives. So
So that's the same thing with me. When I started doing this, I was like, "Oh, I ain't got a StreamYard, cool MP3 download." I was like, "Yeah,"
yeah, I ain't got yeah.
cause
Here we go. Here you
yeah,
go. I
and
ain't
it's
got to
and I said,
do.
"Hey, it's authentic." So if you hear me say or whatever, hey, it's authentic.
People
So
actually enjoy the authentic stuff, man. They
yeah,
really do. Being able to be yourself, people really do enjoy that.
yeah. And do you stream on Twitch as well, or
Yes,
okay?
I stream through the StreamYard. I stream through 8 different locations.
Dang.
Yeah, I do Twitter, Twitch, my the Stuck in My Mind YouTube channel, the Real Wise TV YouTube channel,
Ooh.
my LinkedIn profile, my Facebook group for the production
Ooh.
company, and then my Stuck in My Mind Facebook page.
Oh, that's what's up. I never stream on LinkedIn because I'm like, oh, my coworkers are on there. So
So you don't want your coworkers to see you?
no, because then I just
Oh
be
my
like, no, I don't
god.
want them to know. Because sometimes I mention, yeah, eventually I'm get out of the job life. I don't know, but they probably already know it anyway. Because my LinkedIn does have my podcast on there as a job, and
Yeah.
so Sequoia War Productions on there. So they're like, okay. But I might start sharing it on LinkedIn because there's nothing I'm saying really crazy. It's
I
just
know. I've mentioned my job. I haven't mentioned my name, but I talk about work here once in a while.
yeah, I never mention my job name,
My name,
and
no, no, no,
yeah, I'd be
no.
like tech, yeah, in tech.
It's
Uh,
crazy. It's crazy because in my earlier episodes, I used to shout out because when we was furloughed from work, I used to shout out the crew, and then I used to say the casino's name. But I'm like, man, I'm giving them free promotion. They're not paying me. Nah, I shout out to everybody to my core.
oh,
But
that's
yeah,
true. That is a free promotion because MGM got bread now. They can pay you something now. They paying Jamie Foxx for that sports betting app commercial.
I don't work for MGM, so
No, but if you did, say
I
an
know. Yeah,
example.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's fun, man. This has been great. I
yeah,
appreciate you being on the show. This has been fun.
yeah. This it has been fun. I love it. It really felt like a coffee style chat, and I like that. So it's
And
nice.
that's what I that's it's like like my homeboy does his show and he had Cole Johnson, the guy I was telling you, he has a show Revelations, and it's an amazing show. I love it.
Mm.
And I was one of his first guests on there, and I had a great time. And he's been on my show and all that. And but he goes, I'm like, man, you're so. I'm like, yo, your show is so dope. Like you really blew me away with it. And he was like, man, I say the same thing about your show.
Dang.
He says, "Yeah, I love your show." He says, "I love the format of your show." He says,
Yeah.
We're two different people, man. That's why our shows are completely different things. We might touch on some of the same similar topics, but we're two different people. So our shows are two different shows. And he loves my show. I love his show. He's like, man, I wish sometimes my show was something similar to yours." And I'd be like, I would. But that just goes to show you, like, to like everyone is different. So
Everyone is.
you might think like, damn, his show is so much better. But then he'll like, man, your show's dope, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Cause sometimes I'd be like, "Man, that I wish I could do it like that." But,
Yeah.
and then somebody else come around and say, "Man, I like the production you got, and I like this and that." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Yeah. Like,
I didn't
because you're your biggest. You know what it is. You're your biggest. You're your biggest critic. So
Yes,
so
yes.
when you get that validation from other people, it's like, okay, all right, got it. All right, this is good. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, and it's like that with music too, so it when you hear someone else judge your music, it's different, so yeah, it's all the same, so I think that is good. Just keep putting your stuff out there, everybody.
Yeah, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing. But now you get the solo page right now, so you get to plug away.
Oh, the solo page.
Yeah.
Oh, what I'm gonna say, yeah, y'all. Thanks for checking me out. Go to sequoiablue.com and if you like some unique type style music, check me out. And you never know what you're gonna get from me because I'm pretty much out of the box with my podcast and my music. And check out my card game, Dating Assassins. If you're in a relationship, hey, date your husband, date your wife too. I mean, hey, it's a fun game night, and 150 questions. And let's see. Yeah, check out Blu Alchemist podcast where I talk about everything and anything from ghosts to aliens to business, become an entrepreneur, just the oddities of life. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and when you know better, you can do better. Yeah, that's my quote, y'all.
All right, that's a good quote. I like that quote.
Yeah,
That's a really good
that's
quote.
my favorite one from Maya Angelou. When you know better, you do better.
That's a really good quote to have.
Yeah.
But don't leave just yet. We're
Oh,
gonna chat a
yes.
little bit after. But thank you so much for stopping by. This has been fun. I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
coming through.
Yeah, I had a good old time, y'all. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh man, yes, this has been fun. But let me give my shout outs and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, cool beans.
All right. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Misty, Vlock, Tony, uh, Ben, Brian Snow, everybody who's definitely come through and shown me love. I appreciate it. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Bobby J, Brandy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Love you and appreciate you, baby. Big shout out to my guest, Siquoyia Blue, for coming through.
Whoop,
And as
whoop.
and as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless y'all. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.